My journey with Row New York started back in 2005. And if there is one thing Row New York gave me, that is freedom. You see, my parents are immigrants from Guyana, and Guyanese parents are extremely, extremely strict. So when I joined rowing, I had the opportunity to go to regattas and visit colleges on the weekends. And then I knew for college, I wanted to get far away from home as possible. So I had a conversation with my coach, who was Previn at the time, and he told me that these college coaches would be at C.R.A.S.H.Bs. So in my mind, I had to PR at C.R.A.S.H.Bs. That PR was my ticket to freedom. Fast forward, 2 weeks before C.R.A.S.H.Bs, I think I went to the doctor for an annual checkup, and the doctor ended up referring me to a cardiologist. Then the cardiologist ended up diagnosing me with a heart murmur. The doctor told me, it could be serious, it could be a heart problem, and then, it might just be an innocent heart murmur. Just do some breathing exercises, you'll be fine. My parents classically said, if you ever feel like you're about to pass out, just stop rowing. I said, this is just my luck. I'm 5'3", 5'4" on a good day, which means I'm incredibly short for a rower. And now I have another possible medical limitation, which can impact my athletic performance. This is just my luck, right? So fast forward another 2 weeks. I am on my way to Boston University with my teammates. And outside of the arena, I remember seeing 2 ambulances lined up. And I was like, okay, this is perfect, right? If anything happens, I'm safe. Inside of the arena, there were 2 stretchers and some paramedics to the side. Okay, if I pass out, I'm good. And then there was the famous white bucket for vomit by the erg. I'm like, all right, I'm covered on all sides, like I'm safe here. So I head down to the floor with Previn, and I start rowing in my heat. And I'm rowing. I'm rowing really hard. And then Previn whispers in my ear, Simone, don't freak out. You're in first place. Keep on doing what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, So I'm rowing, and I'm rowing. And then I start to think about my heart murmur. Is today gonna be the day that I pass out in the arena in front of everybody? And as I start to think about this heart murmur, I notice I am no longer in first place. I'm in third. So I focus straight on my screen, and I start rowing. But behind my screen, there is this random woman with long gray hair, and she's looking at me with intensity in her eyes. And she's telling me, row, row, row. And I just pay attention to her, and I just start rowing. I have no idea who this woman is. This woman does not know me. I do not know her, but I am listening to her, and I start rowing. I end up finishing that race in second, and I end up PRing. But I do not get but I do not get the PR I want. That's not what I wanted. So before I head back to my team, Previn pulls me aside, and we have this conversation. He's like, how did that go? And I confide in Previn about my heart murmur diagnosis. And Previn looks at me, and he says, Simone, don't let this information impact how you show up to races and how you show up to practices, because in actuality, nothing has changed with your body. At that moment, I realized I didn't tell Previn because I thought it was important information for him to know as my coach, but I told him because I made an excuse for myself why I didn't get the PR I wanted. I wanted to blame the heart murmur. So fast forward, I'm here today. And from that C.R.A.S.H.B situation, I took 3 important lessons I took with me into adulthood. 1, ignorance truly is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Second, certain information and conditions society places on you can limit when you can't achieve in your mind. For example, I could see a room full of people that look nothing like me. I could think one of 2 things. 1, I don't belong in this room because people don't look like me. Or 2, I do belong in this room because people don't look like me. And that attitude, and that same attitude and mentality helped me to get stronger mentally, to prepare myself for spaces and institutions that weren't designed for me, like Smith, Dartmouth, and Harvard. Now, last but not least, I mentioned freedom. All of it, all of it. So I mentioned freedom. Yes, real New York freedom from my very strict Guyanese parents and family, but most importantly, they freed me from myself. They gave me a new perception in life and helped me look outside of the box. And to be completely honest, I am still a work in progress. But anytime I start to doubt myself, just like that crazy lady who's in the back telling me to row really hard, that's my real New York family. And they're always there for when I start to doubt myself, and they help me cross that finish line. Thank you.